Okay, it's your boy DZ, man. Should a woman go 50-50 with a man in a relationship? Or should the man bear most of the responsibility in the relationship? Or maybe the woman should go uh 20-80 with the man. But should she give some financial input? Should she go half? Should she bear a part of the responsibility? Or is it okay for a woman to handle all the responsibility and a man to live underneath her? How should it go? And here's my take on it, right? A woman can go 50-50 with a man in a relationship if that's what they established. If they see that best fits both of them. If that makes their relationship whole. And that's a discussion that the woman and the man have to come together and sit down and come to an agreement on. In my opinion, for the most part, a man should bear the responsibility of making sure that the relationship is solid by you having a roof over the head. You got electric, water, treat your woman. The responsibility of a man should be shown up here. You shouldn't want to be neck to neck with your woman. You supposed to be a leader in a relationship. The woman is supposed to be guided by you. In today's world, a lot of women are bearing most of the responsibility or finding men that are okay with going 50-50. Things have changed. I think it takes away from the man if a man allows a woman to go 50-50 with everything. Now, in some situations, it's okay so that y'all can feel that partnership. So that y'all can feel like we in this together to go half on some things. But the man should be leading and bearing most of the responsibility. Why do women accept guys that only come with the bare minimum? Is that because they looking for love? They want companionship? They want to have company? They need to have somebody around them, so they end up settling for somebody that only can bring the bare minimum. If a guy isn't established enough to make sure he's head of household, maybe you should wait till that guy is eligible to be a provider. If you give people the opportunity to do bare minimum, they'll get stagnant in that lifestyle. They'll be okay with busting the bills down with you, making sure we have. They'll be okay with being at the bottom. Sometimes you got to put your foot down and say, you should be bearing more responsibility than me, instead of you just being acceptive to the man doing bare minimum or trying to be equal with you. When did this all start? When did this all start where it's okay to go half with your man on everything? When did that start? That make it where as though women feel like they the men too. That's why a lot of women talk to men the way they do, because they have to take on the role and the responsibility as if they was a man. That's why some men don't get no respect, because the woman is looking as if I'm doing everything, you like a little joker to me, when you supposed to be having her look up to you, guiding her, making sure that she's on the right track. But a lot of men don't have that capability, and it's making a lot of women strong, as in they know that they gotta make sure that their foundation is solid, because if they try to depend on you, it's gonna crumble. If they put their trust that you gonna make sure that things get done, they won't get done. This is why a lot of women are taking the initiative to make sure that they are on top of their game. It's a bad feeling when you put your trust in somebody and they let you down. It's a bad feeling when you put your trust in somebody and they let you down. As in, you expecting somebody to pay the bills and they don't. So a lot of women these days are making sure that they don't have to depend on a man. They making sure that they can fend for themselves. And a lot of dudes is being okay with not having nothing, not being able to pay the bill. It's a lot of guys that think that all they got to do is provide sex to the woman and let her go out and work, take care of all the responsibilities. But you think that because you giving her a sexual sensation, you don't see the need to make sure you know how to financially provide. And a lot of women are embracing this. But then they turn around and talk about these type of men. Embracing guys that don't want to do nothing. You can't be attracted to somebody, right, that's physically attractive to you. Well, you can be attractive, but you should want to stay away from these situations. Somebody that you're physically attracted to, but doesn't have any means of building, providing, and putting together any stability. Those people you should run from. Those are the people that you should run from. People will tell you what you want to hear, but action speaks louder than words. You can put yourself in these situations where you hoping that you can build the person up, and this is for the man or the woman. You can hope that you can build the person up to make them fit to be responsible, but you can't. If a person doesn't have it to be responsible, you can't force it on them. You can't hand that to them. Being responsible comes from being taught, trials and tribulations you go through, different situations. You learn as you go. But some people never learn though. Some people do not learn from mistakes of others, from their mistakes. They just here living. And when you see women now out here holding it down and they acting like they don't need a man, it's because the guys ain't coming to the table right. It's because they feel that they can do it by themselves. They don't see the value that a man is supposed to bring because of all these behaviors that's displayed. It's like the trend of the men are following the weird shit. No backbone for responsibility. How doesn't a man want to be a provider? How does a man sit within himself not being able to provide, but you got something to say? That's some deep shit. How does a man sit there knowing you can't provide, knowing that you don't even want to take the opportunity to put anything together, but you fix your mouth to have something to say? A man that doesn't know how to provide shouldn't have anything to say. They hold no value. And all women want a man that is going to provide. But sometimes you might be attracted to an appearance, but you're not looking for a man that has the ability to provide. And an appearance can distract you from what you should be looking at. You could look at a brother and you think that that brother's handsome, but he doesn't know how to stand on his own 2 feet. So now you're going to take on the responsibility of another child. You might be attracted and you might can have sex with this person and y'all might can do things together, but know that if the man doesn't know how to stand up and be a man, you're going to be taking care of him. So it ain't going to be no 50-50. You going to be giving up 100% of what you putting together to fund the situation. It's a lot of little dudes out here. It's a lot of little guys out here that don't want to grow up. And then it's a lot of guys that are just understanding themselves, but not understanding how to provide. So they willing to say, baby, I'll go half with you. That should be a red flag for you. If a man says he's willing to go half with you and he's not willing to take on whatever it is as a man duty, that should be a red flag for you. You should look at this situation as this nigga's coming in from the door talking about half. Now, maybe if the man has provided a lot and he's done a lot, and you want to say, all right, I'm willing to go half on this situation, I'm willing to pitch in, then that's cool. But to say from the door we going half, you might be funding the whole bill soon. The whole bill might be on you soon. Pay attention now. The signs is going to be there. It's always going to be signs there, right? If this is a 50-50 nigga, you going to see the signs. If this is a nigga that's not responsible, you going to see the signs. But if you ignore certain things, when you know, then you know what the results is going to be. No man should be all right with just going 50-50. Now, if you got a partner like that, that's making enough money to go 50-50, then it might work for you. It might work for you though, but it might not work for everybody. A lot of people that are in those relationships where they feel that they're overworking themselves to take care of the relationship, they seen this from the beginning. It was just a factor that they ignored because maybe they wanted the companionship, they wanted company, they was looking for love. But you see this. You can't hide being a bum. You can't hide not knowing how to be responsible. You can't hide it. Because these are the things that go on in our daily life. In our daily life, you got responsibilities. Should a man go 50-50? Should a woman go 50-50? Who should be the one handling the responsibility? Is it all right for the woman to say, all right, baby, I know you ain't got it right now. We're going to go 50-50 till you get it. Is that okay? Because sometimes when you tell a guy 50-50 until he get it, he might not never want to get it. JB. Yes, sir. A guy going 50-50 has to be an in-house mutual agreement, but the guy has to have the capability, right, to do more than the woman. If the woman says, all right, I want to do 50-50. I want to be 50-50. That's cool. And love does make people ignore the signs. Love will make you ignore every sign out there. Because you in it with your heart, your feelings. Your feelings will make you ignore everything. But you got to pay attention to them half-stepping people that's coming to the table half. I got half. Like, these new dudes, that's why they get handled the way they get handled. Women handle them the way they get handled. Because they don't have that strong backbone. They willing to be looked at like, I don't have it. Or, I get it. One day I'm working on it. They willing to be okay with that. I ain't got it right now. Well, if you don't got it right now, you need to figure out how to get it. That's the thing. If you don't have it right now, you need to figure out how to get it. Yeah, and listen, feelings will have you in a super bad situation. Your feelings will have you in a super bad situation when you know where it's going to go. You can see how the situation is headed. You can see, but you so much in your feelings and the love and I love this person and we got history. It'll have you in a bad situation. But as a man, you should have the ability to financially provide for your family. It's definitely a plus when you got a woman that can come to the table and provide half. But that's you giving her the opportunity to provide half. She shouldn't come from the beginning having the obligation. That should be an understanding. That should be a discussion. That should be something that is sat down and talked about so that y'all have a mutual agreement. But women coming in them situations with the 50-50 and then they complain about why the man is the way he is. You enabled him from the beginning of the relationship. You didn't make sure that he was going to have top status on providing. It's some people that have the ability and maybe they might be cheap so that they say, yo, I'm going half on everything. But do they got the ability to take control of the situation is what you should be looking for. That should be the first thing you look for. Do you have the ability to take care of this situation? Do you have the ability to financially back us? That's real important for a woman. And for a man, you should be looking at, does she have some type of stability in her life to make me whole? Because if one person is left field and the other person is on the right track, you're going to be pushing and pulling. You're going to be pushing and pulling on each other. But a woman better pay attention if the guy is talking about going 50-50. Pay attention. And I don't see nothing wrong with going 50-50, but the man should have the ability to be financially strong in the relationship. A man should know that I can handle this if you go through something. Not that we just making it together. So if one person falls short, then we both in trouble. Prioritize. Prioritize. When you go out and you get in a relationship, you got to see value in the situation. And if it's just a sexual situation, that's not no value. Can you learn something in the relationship? Is there a possibility of building? Do we have the same vision? Think about that. If two people are together and they got two different visions and they pulling in two different directions, but they going 50-50 on everything, what's the point of this situation? What's the point? What's the point? You pushing and you pulling on each other, but y'all don't got no goal to take it to the next level. It's just we gonna go 50-50 all the way out, huh? That's what it is. We just gonna go 50-50 all the way out. If a guy come in a relationship and they financially off balance, and a whole year go by and they can't figure out how to balance their financial situation, ain't gonna be no 50-50. The woman is gonna be funding the whole relationship. And that's what happens. A lot of women get in a relationship and the guy might have something when they meet him. Might show that he can produce when they meet him. But it gradually goes from the guy providing, doing everything, to 50-50, let's go half on it, to you having to be 100% of the situation and the guy's on the couch dropping you off in your car to work. How does this happen? That's a different form of love. That's a different form of love for you to be in a relationship. You see the decline, because this is how it's always happening. It's always happening like this. You get in a relationship, the guy don't got his shit together. He's telling you, baby, I can go half, I can help. And then the next thing you know, he lost his job. The next thing you know, baby, you know I ain't got it like that right now. I'm trying to get it together. You know I'm in a crunch. Once I get out this situation, we gonna be straight. Do women always hear these same stories and fall for the same trick? How does this happen? How do you fall for the same trick? That's like the banana in the tailpipe. The guy telling you, baby, you know I got your back. But the nigga don't got nothing. It's like some of these relationships, the woman will fall in love, the guy don't even got a car. You in a relationship and the guy can't even take you on a date. And he talking about going 50-50. So what do you expect? What do you expect? Women, when you looking for a man, you have to look for the responsible side in him. You can't look and see if I can build this man up to be something. You got to see the responsibleness from the door. When a woman is looking for a man, you need to be looking for responsibility in the man. If you don't see responsibility, that is a red flag. If you don't see structure, that is a red flag. How you gonna have a relationship with some man that doesn't have structure and he doesn't have financial stability? You can't build no one up. People either come with the ability to make it or they come with the ability to be what they're going to be. You can't build nobody up. You can encourage people. You can try to motivate them. But if they don't have the motivation, the things that you say is not going to get it to get them in motivation. They got to have that within. That shit come from within. It come from trial and error. It come from going through some things. That literally comes from going through things. If you go through enough things and you have some type of sense, you're going to learn from your experience. You're going to want to tweak the things that you did wrong from your last experience, whatever situation. You got to love yourself first, though. And a lot of people that get in these relationships that be 50-50, they don't really love themselves. Or maybe they do love themselves, but they don't know how to love themselves. So they're looking for somebody else to show them a certain kind of love. So they're willing to accept any and everything, even if it's dragging them down, to have that feeling of love. And that goes back to people looking for love. When they looking for love, they ignore the signs. When you looking for love, you ignore the signs. When you're in love, you ignore the signs. You know this person ain't shit. You see it. You know it. But you're willing to accept something because it's filling an emotional void inside of you. But then guess what? It's going to pull on another part of your life because you accepted something that was going to weigh you down. Ain't that something? When you accept things that weigh you down, all it does is get worse. That's it. It never gets better. Certain things in a relationship, and you learn this as you go through different relationships. Certain things in a relationship that you might say or do, you can't take it back. So those things are damaging to the relationship. But sometimes you stick inside the relationship hoping things are going to get better. Hoping things going to work itself out. But some damages, they can't be fixed. Some things that damage the relationship can't be fixed. All it does is open the wound every now and then. That's all. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. Pay attention to all the warning signs. If you can't come to the table right, I don't think you should get in a relationship. And it's different for the man and the woman. See, the woman, right? She's going to work. She's cooking. She cleaning and taking care of the kids. She shouldn't be going 50-50. How she gonna go 50-50 when the responsibility level that she got isn't 50-50 with the responsibility level you got? So as the man, you gonna fix some things around the house. You gonna go to work, right? And you gonna participate with some activities with the kids. But for the most part, the woman is doing that 24/7, right? That's not a 50-50 situation. So how's it going to turn into a 50-50 situation when it comes to the financial part? If it's going to be 50-50, right, it need to be 50-50 all way. Everything need to be, you need to clean together. You need to shop for groceries together and pay the bills together. Take care of the kids. If it's going to be 50-50. But it seems like 50-50 only is addressed when it comes to the financial aspect of things in life. That's the only time 50-50 is addressed. They're not saying 50-50 where you take the responsibility of the house this week and then I take the responsibility of the house next week. That don't come into the play of the 50-50 conversation. It's just the financial part. And I'm understanding that. Because that's how we live, paying bills. So we still live by cleaning and cooking. So everything, if you going to go 50-50, should be 50-50. And I'm sure there's some households, right, that 50-50 works. I'm sure. But those are the households that come to the agreement on it. They understand differently. That's the love part. Yeah. And I commend any household that is able to function with the 50-50. Because I feel it's okay to do, but the man should have the ability to be the lifeline if your wife or your girlfriend is going through something and she can't fulfill her half. If the woman's half is more valuable than the man's half, then yeah, I feel that's something wrong with that relationship. That's just me personally. The man should be the backbone. A woman's supposed to be the nurturer. She's supposed to nurture. She's supposed to be the balance. She's supposed to be the balance. The man is supposed to be the provider. The man is supposed to be the provider by any means necessary. That's the duty of a man. You ain't no man if your woman is doing more than you. The roles have been reversed. That's why a lot of these women are talking so spicy and so cocky to men. They don't see your capability. They don't see you having the capability of being responsible. So they're going to talk to you anyway. They feel like they in your shoes. I'm doing what you supposed to be doing. Of course she going to disrespect you. Even though she shouldn't. You should have respect for people regardless, but you going to get talked down to. Because you got all this strength and the ability to work and do what you need to do, but you just don't know how. Now, you just don't want to. You just don't want to do nothing. You basically in the way. Basically. You in the way out here. And your woman holding everything down. You should be embarrassed. Any guy that lets their woman hold everything down should be embarrassed. When you go out to eat, right? The woman shouldn't never pull out her debit card or be paying for the meal. Now I say, once in a blue, right? Once in a blue, it's okay for the woman to pull out her card and pay. But if that's the first option, man, any joker that is accepted to that should feel like a straight lame. You should feel like a lame if you go out and they put the bill on the table and your girl's like, here, you like, oh, I ain't got it right now. You tap me, your pocket's lost, don't know what's going on, and she pull out her, baby, I got it. I'm feeling some type of way, me personally, and this is not for everybody. If I go out and the woman pay, and I'm just like accepting her to pay, I'm still feeling some type of way like, nah, man, it don't even feel right to me. It don't even feel right to go out on a date and the woman pay for me. It don't feel right. Now, it's okay for a woman to do it, but your pride should be in the way at some point in life if the woman is holding more stake in the relationship than you. Your pride should be in the way. That there should send something through you like, man, I got to get my shit together. Because like I said, I'm feeling some type of way, right? If I go out and I got the ability to pay and I'm watching her pay. So the people that's taking the receipt, the money, they dealing with her when they should be dealing with me. Now, that's what separates the boys from the men. That there is what separates the boys from the men. A man is going to feel some type of way, even though he might let her pay for it. Man, I'm going to let her pay. But I'm thinking like I'm being looked at like a lame because my girl's paying for the bill. And I'm sitting right here. And as a man, I bear the responsibility to do men things. And that's handling the bill. That's as a man now, right? I bear the responsibility to do men things and to be at the top of my relationship. My woman should be saying, hey, babe, what you think about this? Not, hey, babe, I did this. I don't care how you feel about it, but this is what I did. That's what that 50-50 life gets you. That 50-50 life gets you for her to tell you what she did after she did it. That's what 50-50 gets you. When you the man and you holding it down, and let's say you doing 80 and she do 20. Because you want her to have some responsibility in the situation, right? She gonna come talk to you about things before she do it. Because she see the value that you bring. She see the weight you hold. So she gonna come talk to you. As in if you like a peon and she don't see no value there, she not gonna really say too much to you. She gonna tell you what she did after she did it. She gonna let you know, hey babe, I just did this. And you gotta be acceptive to whatever she say, because You like a little boy in a relationship. That separates the boys from the men. That's a big separation. Not everybody gonna understand that. And it's a lot of dudes that's stuck in a phase of being a little boy that they can't grow up and go to the next level and understand how to be a man because they stuck living like a little boy. It's easy to get caught up in some childish stuff. That's easy. It's a little harder to handle grown man business. It's a little harder. But we all got the capability to do it. Everybody. Everybody got the capability to be great and hold it down. But I'm going to say this here, right? It's a lot of distractions in life. It's a lot of distractions. The distractions are out here so heavy. They send some guys over the cliff, whereas though they don't know how to function. They function ain't there. But they know how to have sex. So it's going to bring them close to somebody. Because sexual relations is what builds the chemistry when you get involved in relationships. So sometimes you'll be blind to the fact that this person ain't shit. This person's a bum. Because you gave yourself sexually. And when you do that, your mind is clouded with your emotional feelings. So you might see the flags. Oh man, this nigga ain't shit. He ain't got nothing. But then you telling yourself, they gonna get right. It's gonna be all right. They gonna get right. They gonna figure it out. I believe in them. I trust them. You want to make yourself believe when you already see this situation ain't shit. Ain't that something? You see that the situation ain't shit, but you want to make yourself believe that something can come up out of this. That 50-50 shit. That 50-50. So I can't even say that some people are getting tricked in the situation. Nah, you know, you can see, but you might got involved in that sexual chemistry. That sexual chemistry will blind you to a lot of things. You can't see a lot of things. It'll be right in front of you. Especially if the chemistry is loud. If you got that loud chemistry, that loud sexual chemistry, a lot of shit be black in your eyes. You don't see nothing. Because that's overweighing the situation. And it's like a lot of people in these relationships, right? They blind themselves to people's attitudes and they start making excuses for people that are in rough situations. Maybe their financial situation is bad. They going through some family issues. So you want to make excuses for the person. You can't make no excuse for people. It is what it is. I'm not making no excuse for nobody. And you shouldn't either. Don't make no excuse for nobody. We all got the same 24 hours. We all got the same 7 days in a week. We all got a brain. We all make decisions. If a person is just making bad decisions, you can't make excuses for them. Because you know right from wrong. You know when something's going to lead you the wrong way. You know that. So you can't make excuses for people thinking that the excuse is going to change the outcome. Because it's not. The outcome is the outcome. It is what it is. Life is life. You got to know how to function. Don't make excuses for nobody. Especially when you see people that might be in worse situations and they're making it. Their situation might be far more worse, but they're making it. That make you think that we all got the capability. We got the capability, but what you doing about it? Are you doing something about it? A lot of people want people to feel sorry for them. Shouldn't nobody feel sorry for you? Feeling sorry don't fix nothing. Making an effort to change whatever's going wrong is the way to go about it. Feeling sorry don't fix nothing. And a lot of people want people to feel sorry for them. They want people to give them that, oh, it's going to be okay. And nah. We all experiencing trials and tribulations. That's a part of life. That's one thing for sure in life. There's always going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be bumpy roads. That's just life. That it wouldn't be life if we didn't have trials and tribulations. We didn't have rocky situations. It wouldn't be life. This is a part of our life, having trials and tribulations. And I want to say this, right? Any storm that you get into, you gonna weather it. Stressing, complaining, that don't fix nothing. All it does is internally wear your body. And I'm telling you this from experience. Every situation you go through, you will get through it. You might think at that moment that this is the end of the world. I can't live no more. What am I going to do? But trust me, there's always a fix for the situation. It will always work itself out. And I'm saying this from my experience, because it was times that I felt that I wouldn't be able to go forward and I don't know what I'm going to do and how should I handle this? But every single time they work themselves out. Every time. It's not one time that it didn't work itself out. And a lot of times I thought that it wasn't going to work. But now that I have these different experiences, right? I started to understand that it's all going to work itself out every single time. Experience is the best teacher, man. So what you say not true, JB? What's not true? What's not true? Let me hear this one. I want to hear what's not true, Mike. Because I think it's going to work itself out all the time. Yeah. So I want to hear what's not true, man. Let me know, man. But I ain't I ain't with the 50-50. I'm going to say that with me. I ain't with the 50-50. I love a woman that has the ability to bring to the table. Love that. But I ain't with the 50-50. Make me feel less of a man. Make me feel like I'm not as strong as I know I am. That's what it make me feel like. Maybe for some others, it might be alright. But not for me though. But yeah, man. Let me know what y'all think about the 50-50. Should a man go 50-50? Should a woman go 50-50? Or should a man bear most of the responsibility? How should it go, man? It's your boy DZ, man. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Nah.